disgust for these people who've had everything handed to them and everyone kissing their butt. And, you know, I'll tell the story right now. If you don't believe me, get a pen and paper out. I'm going to tell this right now, not to be gross or not to be silly or not to be Python-esque or not to be, Saturday Night Live. This is real. This is real. In fact, they've even made a joke about it. They had that thing called Mr. Show on HBO about 8 years ago, where they're treating a guy as royalty and they're wiping his hind end for him in the restaurant. He doesn't have to leave the table. We ought to pull that skit up online or something. But the point is, and we've done deep research on this, they still have their butts wiped for them. Now, if you don't believe me, you Google Groom of the Stool. You cannot make this up. You will be reading mainstream university websites, mainstream news articles. It's called the Groom of the Stool. And a British lord follows the queen or king, depending on what it is around, follows them around, and they set up in this big cabinet, and they have to fly it around with her. This has been on the news. That's why they fly it around. They claim they stopped it in 1906, but deeper research shows they're just very quiet about it, and millions of pounds are spent a year to move this portable toilet around because it's got to be big enough. She goes up on a throne and craps. I'm sorry, this is real, folks. I'm not Groom of the Stool. Google it. And they wipe her fat butt. Aaron Dykes.
And that's not some lowly chimney sweep either. That's in the British hierarchy. That's a lordly high up position, right?
It has to be one of the top lords. This is the most coveted position. See, it's all about worshiping them. And then, I don't want to get into more detail, but then they pick with their bare hands with respect and examine it. And then every stool and every jar of urine, it's not put into water. That would defile it. Is stored, and all of the royalty stool going back over 500 years is stored. Now this came from France, and in French, it's just the French version of Groom of the Stool. What's the term in French? It's
I think it's like Groom of the Stool. It's a slight translation. I don't know.
Yeah. So this disgusting bucket of pus, this maggot-ridden Nazi piece of filth, gets up there every day, and people wipe her disgusting hind end. I mean, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And they're funding abortion worldwide. They're funding eugenics worldwide. They are just the enemy of all free humanity. And they have these little peerage they hand out where millions of people in England have their homes, everything paid for by her. I mean, you think they have palaces. They have palaces that are hundreds of square miles in some cases. They have palaces that are whole cities with armored compounds behind them. And it's just amazing. I mean, this is filth. This is the New World Order. Aaron?
It's very strange to me, but our own presidents have their stool guarded by national security forces.
That's right. We did a deeper study. George Bush he has a special toilet. Don't believe me, just type president has portable toilet, and he's got to have it carted around. In fact, when he's at big global summits, they have to cart it around behind him.
State secrets of the stool.
Well, it's all about worshiping them. Just even you know what? I think some listeners probably don't believe us.
I've looked it up, too, as you know, Groom of the Stool.
Remember when I first told you a few months ago and you guys didn't believe it and you Googled it?
It's strange, yeah.
I'm sure. Groom my stool. Groom it. Oh, yes. Wipe 5 times.
Yeah, he really is. Hey, Susan, we were talking a moment ago. Okay, so